The way our women actually define feminism in Nigeria, they define it out of context. They've now introduced Miss Andrews into feminism. The pioneers of feminism, they don't antagonize men. They actually,
they just want equal rights.
Exactly.
For women.
They are focused on the main mission of feminism. But today, you see people, women who have wasted their prime years now looking to recruit the younger generations by misleading them and telling them, oh, if a man actually tells you this, you don't have to listen to him. Even your husband, you don't have to listen to him. You have your own decision to make. They're actually dating for survival. They are dating multiple men at the same time. They will be in multiple relationships because they feel like, okay, it is my body. I can actually do what I want with it.
I beg you, may they not go report my account.
We have a Miss Andrews parading themselves as a feminist. Because I don't expect why you on your profile, I don't expect you write bitter, angry feminist. What are you bitter about? What are you angry about? As an irreligious person,
you are an atheist.
Not an atheist. I'm an irreligious. I believe there is one supreme being. Right, but I don't believe in any religious principle or doctrines, in connecting to that religion.
But you believe that there is God? I
believe there is one. Of course, you can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it whatever name it is you choose to give it. So all these names were just, human creation. Yes, so it was not that supreme that actually came down and said, my name is God or my name is Allah. You can call it whatever name you choose to call it. When we talk about the religion beliefs, actually sustaining a long-term relationship, most time, it is not even the individual involved in that relationship that actually have, the problems. It is the problem actually caused through external influence.
What if your wife wants you to become religious again?
I've ended 6 years relationship because of this being religious and not
really?
Religious. Of course. Like I said, I was once a Christian. So depriving my child or my children that opportunity to also explore that aspect of religion would be something bad for me as a father. So I'm a liberal person. I would allow them do the exploration, But the issue is I would just, the way they are going to church, I will also, expose them to other religions too, which I have knowledge of. The likes of Zoroastrianism, the Judaism, and the Buddhists and stuff like that. So that they would know that, okay, the world doesn't just operate around them. Christianity or that particular religion that they are exposed to. To you, they want to find God, right?
Yes.
Now to me it is exploration. Now I have Bible at home, I have Quran at home, I have other religious texts at home. I mean even the ones that I can't really read in their original language, I have their translated version at home. Even these things, there are documents online. The Bible is not a sacred book. It's I'm sorry to say, I'm not disrespecting the Christian folks and stuff, but all these books are available online. So even if I want to teach them, me teaching them does not necessarily mean, okay, I want to tell them this is the right one. I want to tell them the difference between this and this. So they will be the one to judge.
Hello guys, welcome to Bridges and Bond podcast by Morrison. Today we have Mr. Segun. Mr. Segun, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So our topic today is, do you think love is enough to sustain a long-term relationship?
Well, as important as loving and sustaining a long-term relationship, it is solely not enough. Because there are other factors that should be put in consideration, to sustain or guarantee a long-term relationship.
No, do you have an example?
Yeah, factors like, personal growth, commitment, communication, and then flexibility and others. So let me start with personal growth. When a lady or when a girl tells you, I love you the way you are, and it does not necessarily mean you should remain the way you are, right? When a girl tells you, I love you the way you are, she's actually expecting that, okay, as time goes on, you would also grow, probably financially or even in all areas of your life. But when it is now getting to 4 or 5 years and you still remain the same, you are not progressing, you are not growing in any aspect of your life. And that love though she loves you initially, but then as time goes on, that love becomes what is it called, secondary option, because other factors that should be there, that should actually contribute to, that should actually grow the love, it's not coming forth. And then
Some women, most times, their definition of love, some might think is financial. Maybe you have to be financially buoyant, but some women actually prefer seeing a man grow, like learn new skills. Maybe let's say she met you last year and you were doing you're a mechanic. If she's meeting you again this year, you are supposed to be learning something else, like plumbing.
Well, that's not really what I meant. What I meant was like, okay, when she met you last year, and then you guys started dating, probably we were learning then. She expected that by this year, you should probably, or in the next 2 years, you should have become, independent and become your own boss, working as that mechanic. Now, but now you're actually earning an income for yourself and planning your future, right? But probably when she met you, probably 2 years ago, you told her, I was still learning a mechanic, and in the hope that, okay, as time goes on, you would become your own boss one day, and you actually start making money. Then 2-3 years into the relationship, probably you left that mechanic you were learning. You didn't even finish it. Talk less of you becoming a boss of your own. And after 2-3 years, you don't even have anything to show for it. You are not making money. And also the mechanic, the skills you are actually acquiring back then, you are not even putting it into practice, to make money or make anything with it. So that makes you to become like you're unserious. You are not serious with your life. You are not taking your life serious, and there's no growth happening in your life. So, and a girl who is intentional about her own growth and her future, she would consider you as exactly. You become an hindrance for her. So you also hinder her own growth, and doing that, she wouldn't want to sacrifice her own growth for yours.
But some people do help. Serious. Like if a girl loves you, she might help you grow. Like,
it is one thing to want to help yourself. It is another thing for you helping. In the process of helping yourself, you might actually see someone who would want to help you, right? Yes. But you are not helping yourself. And even when they are even stretching the hand of help to you, you are not even embracing it, But when you are helping yourself, like you said now, okay, like for example, the example I made earlier, you are learning a mechanic, right? Okay, probably when it is time for you to like become a boss of your own, you've acquired some of the the gadgets and the necessary equipment, that is required of you to like start your own workshop, right? And you still have some few things left. And she, as a lady, she has interest in you. You guys have been dating for years, and she has the financial capability. She can actually contribute to that aspect of your life. That okay, at least you are progressing. By the time you start working and you start making money, you also start giving her money too. So she can actually help you in that manner. But let's assume you did not even finish that skills we're actually acquiring. So there's no way she will help you. So before anybody can actually help you, you have to help yourself first. So that is where the personal growth actually comes in. And it, actually applies to both gender. As the man is actually growing, the woman should also be growing. So that it won't become I was there for him when he had nothing. You were not really there for him.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Let me ask you something. Let's say now you met a woman who's maybe she's financially okay, but you are not. You understand? Then she suddenly sees that you are not making effort to better your life, to multiply your wealth, and she sees someone else that is actually richer than you. If she leaves you to that and go with that person, would you feel like maybe heartbroken that this woman left?
It's very nice. Sure, I will also do the same. So it's normal. Like I said earlier, this is we are talking about growth here. So you can't expect me who is actually planning my future, being serious with my own life, being with someone who is careless about his own future. No planning, nothing, no growth is happening. So if I should be waiting for that person out of love, then I'm actually feeling like, okay, probably that person will drag me down, and I will be, I will come down to his level where I will also become unserious with my own life. So I wouldn't blame her in that scenario. That is the right option. And then if someone actually asks me for an advice related to that, I will tell the person, go ahead. It's the best thing to do.
In your own opinion, you think love and being financially buoyant or financially okay can sustain a long-term relationship?
Yeah, not in the sense of substituting one for another. You know, the two actually comes in hand together.
What about loyalty?
Loyalty is part of love. If you love someone, we want to become loyal to them, right? It is born out of love. If you're in love with someone, it is your responsibility to be loyal to that person. That is what love is initially. So you can't tell me you love me and then you're also seeing the other people. So that's not love. Probably, I don't know. So, but it's not love. So love, the loyalty actually accompanies love. So yeah.
So when you love someone, you remain 100% loyal to them.
Of course.
You don't step outside
Of course.
the relationship
Of course.
or whatnot. That's nice.
Yeah. So
You're a ladies' man.
oh, not really. Well,
They'll
if you say
definitely
so.
love you. They'll definitely love you. Are you single?
Of course, I am not. I'm currently in a relationship, but then, for
Congratulations.
now, yeah, like I said,
You
currently.
are-
So,
So now, do you think people with different religious belief can make relationship work?
well, let me start from personal perspective. As an irreligious person,
You are an atheist.
not an atheist, I'm an irreligious theist. So
How does that work?
yeah, I believe there is a one supreme being, right? But I don't believe in any religion, like in any religion's principle or the doctrines, in connecting to that religion.
But you believe that
I
there's
believe
God.
there is one. Of course, you can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it whatever name it is you choose to give it. So all these names were just human creation. So
Yes.
it was not that supreme that actually came down and said my name is God or my name is Allah. You can call it whatever name you choose to call it. But I just believe there is one supreme being who is actually greater than all humans here. So I don't know your own interpretation of it, but that is just my own personal.
You've never prayed before, like?
Well, I used to when I was a religious person. Like I was once a Christian, right? So then,
What changed your mind? What made you?
It's just through exploration, personal discovery. It over the years I've actually learned a lot of things about it, and now we're actually diverting it. But then let me just say a little bit about myself and my personal beliefs. So like over the years I have been exploring, trying to ask questions, and one thing I've realized for a fact is all religions are actually man-made, and that is why you see the contradictions exist, and even interfaith contradictions. I mean, if God exists, if God actually creates religion, why should there be like your own principle of making need to that heaven or to see that God is actually differs from other religious principles and beliefs. So we always believe that the God is an all-knowing, the all-powerful, and the omnipotent and omniscient. But then, looking at it, you feel like the contradictions are just there. If this person is an all-knowing God, right? Why will he not tell me the same thing from a religion A and then another thing from a religion? So this tells you that all these religions are actually like fiction, human creations, and that was why I said.
All in all, religious people cannot make relationship work. Is that what you're saying? You have to be a good person.
You say being a good person does not really have,
what if you have different life goals?
That is why
partner.
Even the religion aspect. So when we talk about the religion beliefs, actually sustaining a long-term relationship, most time it is not even the individual involved in that relationship that actually have the problems. It is the problem are actually caused through external influence. Right? Let me give you an example. Probably I'm dating a lady whose father is a imam or a pastor, right? Now, and at the point of a meeting, I actually explained to her, okay, this is who I am. I don't go to church. I don't do this. I don't do that, right? Then, and she said, okay, fine, I'm cool with it. I was able to convince her, right? Both of us, we've actually agreed that, okay, it is fine. We are cool with it. We'll figure it out on the long run. But then, when she gets home, her parents will not just it will never happen when I'm still alive, right? Which will never happen. I'm a pastor. What do you want me to tell my congregation? So stuff like that. So the external influence
when you get married, you cannot go to church for wedding and all those things.
No, I never said that.
Okay.
See, even marriage is actually it's not my sole decision to make, right? I have other part.
What if your wife wants you to become religious again?
No. it will.
Will that relationship end?
Of course, my relationship, I've ended 6 years relationship because of this being religious and not being
Really?
religious. Of course, we were actually coping at the long run, and at some point, probably like
She
I
couldn't
said,
take it
external
anymore.
influence. Not that she couldn't take it anymore, but external influences. Like I said earlier, it's not the two people actually that are involved in the relationship that have problem initially. It is the external influence, probably like from the parents that will actually like go against it and be like, no, I can't accept this. You can't. I'm a pastor. You can't bring home someone who doesn't believe in Jesus or who doesn't believe in So you just have to like bring someone who is a Christian or who at least practice one religion.
So what if, let's say, the woman becomes an atheist like you?
I'm not an atheist.
Okay, you're not an atheist. Okay, you just don't believe in religion. Okay. Now, what if the life goals, the both of you guys' life goals are totally different? And it is not compatible. It's not about being religious anymore.
Yeah.
It's about life goals now. That she's always working and you're always working, and one day she just wake up and be like, I don't think this thing is gonna work.
Well, if she wakes up and be like, this thing, I don't think this thing is going to work. That means she has already decided and made up her mind that, okay, this thing. But when she actually wakes up one day and be like, okay, I feel like there is something we need to discuss, and we will not discuss it. It is something we can actually reach an agreement on that, okay, where is the problem coming from? Is it because of work? This thing is all about communication and a commitment. You just have to communicate how you feel, and you look for another alternative. You see, in marriage, you have to be flexible. You don't have to be like rigid with whatever decision you make. You should be flexible enough to like change your opinion about something. Like probably if there is work, you guys, of course, leave the kids with me. My work is flexible. Probably I can even hire someone who will be taking care of them. It is understandable on that note, right? Now, even the beliefs and everything. For me personally, I can marry anybody, even if your father is a priest, a very fair priest, a native doctor. I don't care who he is, as long as you are interested in being in a relationship with that. You also don't see my. I will respect your religion, of course. I don't disrespect people's religion or people's faith, right? But then, as long as you also respect my own opinion, and even if you want to like counter my opinion, there should be reasons, yeah. You should give me reasons why I should reason with you too. So it's not like you trying to like force me to to substitute my own opinion for yours. You should give me reasons why I should do that. And if I reason with you and I feel like, okay, that is the best thing to do, of course, we'll definitely compromise and see where it goes.
So in your own experience, you are saying, will it work or will it not work?
Well,
being religious and having different life goals.
It's a two-way thing. It can work and it may not work. It can work in the sense that when the two parties actually agree that, okay, whatever it is the third party is actually saying, it is none of our business. We are going to make this work and it will work irrespective of the challenges or anything. So it's a decision that the man and also the woman has, they have to make and decide and stand their ground on it.
Have you had any personal experience where your significant other, let's say your girlfriend, she left you because you didn't want to go to church with her?
I said it earlier. I ended the 6 years relationship because of it.
Because you don't want to go to church.
She knew I wasn't going to church before, but then she felt like, okay, she could actually cope. But as time goes on, she was trying
thought she could convince
exactly. But then she really did try her best. But then I wasn't like convinced enough. Instead of being convinced, I was actually more confused. Yeah, right. So and it didn't work out. So and we just had to like handle it. So that was it. So, but then if it will actually work out too, right? It is the decision of both parties that, okay, irrespective of our differences, we will actually make this work. If the commitment is there, that okay, irrespective of that challenge, the religious differences and the religious views in them, the beliefs and everything, we will make this work. We will make it work.
Since you are irreligious, your partner, is she also irreligious like you?
She's actually religious. Yeah, she's a Christian.
She's a Christian.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with her? How is the relationship? How?
So far, so good. I made it clear to her in the first place that this is who I am, and then she was cool with it, and she's still cool with it, right? So at least for now, as it is right now, there's no issue. Everything is going fine. until anything arises later on.
So now that your partner is a Christian,
Mm.
so if you guys eventually get married, how do you raise your children? Is it irreligious way or Christian way?
That's an interesting question. Like I said earlier, it's about communication. And for someone like me, I am very, very open-minded.
Do you mind
Like,
if
that's why
they
I'm
go
going
to church?
That's where I'm going to. I'm a very, very open-minded person. Like I said, I was once a Christian. I used to go to church. So, and but depriving my child or my children that opportunity to also explore that aspect of religion will be something bad for me as a father. So I'm a liberal person. I would allow them do the exploration, But the issue is I will just the way they are going to church, I will also expose them to other religions too, which I have knowledge of. The likes of Zoroastrianism, the Judaism, and the Buddhists and stuff like that, so that they would know that the world doesn't just operate around them. Christianity or that particular religion that they are exposed to. There are other religions outside that particular religion, and then as time goes on and they get to that stage of making their own decision, then they will decide if to be a Christian or become an irreligious theist like me, and so it's their personal decision. But then before they get to that stage of making that decision, as they are being exposed to like Christianity practices and doctrines, I would also expose them to the doctrines of other religions and practices.
So, do you think situationships are replacing relationships now in this modern day?
Of course, it's unlike the other generations where women actually dated for real love and real commitment. And I mean the hope of building a sustainable, relationship, and building a good home and a family. In this modern age that we are now, the younger generations are actually dating for survival and not love. And I think one of the actual factors that is contributing to the growth of this trend is the social media. For example, on Twitter we have feminists and the way our women actually define feminism in Nigeria. They define it out of context. They've now introduced misandrist into like feminism.
Most of them are man haters.
Yeah, of
just
course.
hate
Yeah,
men.
they hate men,
nothing.
and that is what we are seeing on Twitter. I mean, the real feminists, they don't antagonize.
The pioneers.
The pioneers of feminism. They don't antagonize men. They actually,
they just want equal rights.
Exactly.
For women.
They are focused on the main mission of feminism. But today, you see people, women who have wasted their prime years now looking to recruit the younger generations by misleading them and telling them, if a man actually tells you this, you don't have to listen to him. Even your husband, you don't have to listen to him. You have your own decision to make. You are a lady, you can do it.
That's what they're telling the younger ones, not to focus on relationships.
Exactly.
But situationship.
And before you now see, most of them, the relationship becomes transactional.
Yes.
Instead of being something that is foundation with build with love. So it becomes transactional, and that is what we see that is now happening in this generation.
Yeah, most of them are no longer relationships, just situationships.
Of course, they're actually dating for survival, and they are dating this. They are dating multiple men at the same time. They will be in multiple relationships because they feel like, okay, it is my body. I can actually do what I want with it. And then before you know it, when they, our younger girls, they have these illusions in their head that, okay, when I waste my prime years, I would see one old woman, one old man who has money, and who would take care of me and treat me like a queen that I am. So they have that illusion, and it is all this bitterness online that we saw that actually like sold that illusion to them. And then before you know it, they are not really dating. They are not really looking for something serious. They are actually just having fun and then, selling their body in that, in the process of having fun. And then before they realize it, the time is no longer on their side. And then they've wash off, their beauty is not even there. They've useless themselves. Sorry to say. But then it's
I beg you, may they not go report my account.
It's just the real fact. If you look at it critically, you see that is what is happening now. And I don't know, this generation now, in the next 5 years, I don't know, they will actually be, some of them, not all anyway, some of them will be regretting their actions which they actually made.
So to you now, do you prefer situationships or relationships?
No, of course. Like I said, it's just some. It's not all women that are actually, substituting relationship for situationship. There's real women out there. I only cited that term, feminism, because that is a growing, the feminism, feminism in quote actually, because that is a growing trend now. And it actually misandries. We have a misandries parading themselves as a feminist. Because I don't expect why you on your profile, I don't expect, you write bitter, angry feminist. What are you bitter about? What are you angry about? Even when you have a bitter experience or bitter this thing, you don't have to project it as that.
Yeah, I understand.
To conclude that okay, that is the way everybody is. It doesn't make sense. So
most of them they're just saying that to keep the men away. They don't really mean it. I don't feel like they meant that, because there's no way somebody will be bitter and wicked.
Even me, I even understand that most of them are, not all. Because some of them actually meant business. They are who they said they are, right? But most of them are actually saying all these things for engagement. These things actually gives them money. They are not being paid now as influencers and so. And the more engagement you get, but the problem is the generation of the younger generations. They are not really aware of these things. They are not aware that most of them, this is what they say online. Don't wash your man's clothes. Don't when you are not doing anything and your man is at work, you still don't have to do anything at home. Your man can actually come back from work and come and do the house care and everything, because you don't have to become a slave because you are a wife. Now most of them are actually preaching that online. So let me say, some of them are actually preaching that online, whereas offline they're actually, doing that thing, washing their men's clothes, not even their men only. Even if it is possible for their men to actually bring in other women's clothes for them to actually wash, they will wash. But then they will portray another thing online, and then when they go offline,
they will portray something else.
They will portray something else. And in the like of trying to say something else online, they're actually misleading the younger generation, and which most of them are actually not realizing that. And that is why you see, younger girls now, the trend, even their mentality has even, moved away from the traditional mode of relationship to, this situationship, or what is it called? So it's
let's rewind it back a little bit. There was a time we talked about religion in a relationship. So now, rewinding it back to that, if let's assume now that if you get married to someone who's an atheist or who's a non-religious person, do you still want your children to go to church?
Like I said, there are different religions, right? And I'm actually exposing them to, I'm allowing them to explore freely. I'm not really limiting them.
Okay, so how are you going to allow them to explore when you don't teach them? Now, you don't have the Bible at home. You have nothing at home to teach them.
Let me answer that.
So how would they find God?
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
To you, they want to find God, right?
Yes.
Now to me, it is exploration. Now, I have Bible at home. I have Quran at home. I have other religious texts at home. I mean, even the ones that I can't really read in their original language, I have their translated version at home. Even these things, there are documents online. The Bible is not a sacred book. It's I'm sorry to say, I'm not disrespecting the Christian folks and stuff, but all these books are available online. So even if I want to teach them, me teaching them does not necessarily mean, okay, I want to tell them this is the right one. I want to tell them the difference between this and this. So they will be the one to judge. Though when I'm teaching them, they are not judging, because obviously they will still be young, right? Now, when they grow up, they are exposed to multiple things.
Now,
Multiple
rewinding it
religions.
back to when they grow up,
Yeah.
something they don't know when they are little. Do you think it wouldn't be difficult for them?
So why was I exposing them? I don't want them to know it. I was making them understand that, okay, this is what Christianity says about God.
And
Christianity has this is what
Quran-
Quran actually says. So Christianity has a prophet who was Jesus. What was it called? Quran has a prophet Muhammad, and even Quran actually references Jesus in their own verse too.
Yes.
Isa. Now the story actually
I think
contradicts.
they mentioned Virgin Mary too.
But then the story actually contradicts, each other. Now we will tell them the history of Christianity, and I will give them the likely cases why, the story are actually linked together. Because even Judaism, what's it called? The Abrahamic religion, the third one, Islam. You have Islam and Christianity. I think Judaism is the third one. I can't remember. Now, those ones they have their own interpretation of Jesus too, and these three religions are under the same canopy, which is the Abrahamic religion. So I will expose them to all these teachings. Now it is left to them. They are aware. They can actually, when they now get to that stage of making decisions, I won't force them to okay, I won't be partial about my teaching. It is just like teaching teaching your children about life. You teach them and let them know this is it. But then above all, I will always recommend humanity above all religion.
Anyway, thank you for your opinion for today, and we are happy to have you. And it's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hopefully you will come here again for our next episode.
Of course, anytime. I'm available.
The door is always open for you, my brother.
Thank you.
So guys, kindly share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is Bridges and Bonds Podcast by Morrison.